Heartbreak for an Omaha family. Two women killed last night, and investigators tell us the man they think did it is related to the victims.
The family of a double murder suspect wants to know how he got a permit and handgun hours before his mom and sister's death.
Prosecutors say Mason returned to that apartment after getting rid of his clothes in dumpsters across Omaha. Family members are now collecting funds to pay for a funeral.
Still unsurreal for me, just because I am the third oldest, and I just want to know why.
Around 9 p.m. on July 13th, Douglas County sheriffs responded to a residence at the Irvington Heights apartment homes in the area of 89th Court and Sorensen Parkway for a well-being check. Upon arrival, they would find the front door unlocked, and inside, they would locate the bodies of two adult females.
The sheriff's office says they were called out to Irvington Heights apartments last night to check on someone's well-being, and they found two people dead inside an apartment.
The victims were identified as 30-year-old Marquesha Cannon and her 55-year-old mother, Lisa Cannon, who were both pronounced dead at the scene. Although there isn't much information on 55-year-old Lisa Cannon, her daughter, 30-year-old Marquesha Cannon, is described as having the most beautiful soul. She was such a loving, generous, and kind-hearted person. Although she was physically disabled with many health issues of her own, she still took care of her mother, assisting her with daily living activities. Family meant everything to her. Police would quickly identify the suspect as 22-year-old Fernandez Mason, who is Lisa Cannon's son and Marquesha Cannon's brother. Mason's sister says she is unable to grasp the reality of the tragedy that has shattered her family. She says she noticed nothing out of the ordinary, although there were ongoing family issues. She described a rocky relationship between her mother, Lisa Cannon, her and her 6 siblings, with court records showing that the children were removed from Lisa Cannon's custody at some point. According to court documents, Lisa Cannon's parental rights to Mason and her other children were terminated in 2009, and Mason became a state ward in 2011. He aged out of the foster care system in 2019. Mason informed the police that he received unknown signs from people within the community to kill his mother, leaving police wondering if this was a case of mental health concerns.
Deputies were called to the Cannon home just before 9 o'clock Thursday night after somebody reported that they hadn't heard from them and asked the sheriff's office to check on them. That launched a double murder investigation involving several members of the same family.
I just want to know why.
What I don't know is exactly what led up to this incident happening.
Family and Douglas County deputies asking the same question. What led to the deaths of 2 women in their Irvington apartment and another family member in custody?
I literally just found out that was my mother and my older sister, and sadly my brother. It's still unsurreal for me.
The sheriff's office says a welfare check led deputies to the apartment near Sorensen and Ida around 9 o'clock Thursday night.
The front door was unlocked. We knocked on it. We opened the door to check on her well-being, and it was apparent something happened inside at that point.
Deputies found the bodies of 55-year-old Lisa Cannon and 30-year-old Marquesha Cannon. They say they arrested 22-year-old Fernandez Mason within hours. Another daughter of Lisa and sister to Marquesha, Ann Fernandez, stopped by the apartment Friday unable to grasp the tragedy that has shattered her family. She didn't want to be identified.
I don't know what to think. This coming out, that's not my brother. My brother's not a killer.
The woman says she and her 6 siblings have had a difficult relationship with their mother, Lisa Cannon. Court records show the children were all removed from her at one point.
We've been through the system. We were foster kids, and we thought that we can come back as adults to talk to our mom about the situation, but each time we talked to her about it, she didn't want to have the conversation.
Still, the woman says she cannot imagine what could have led Fernandez to killing his own mother and sister.
What happened? Why? And knowing him, he could have walked away. If she made you mad to that point, he could have walked away. He could have left.
Deputies ask anyone who might be able to shed light on what led to the situation to come forward.
We would like to, answer some of those questions we don't know
22-year-old Fernandez Mason was taken into custody and booked into the Douglas County Department of Corrections on 2 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of use of a weapon to commit a felony and is being held without bond. It was quickly revealed that Mason purchased a gun just hours before going to the apartment with the intent of killing his mother and sister. Deputies are working to determine exactly what led up to the murders. Mason made his first court appearance on Monday. The case remains ongoing.
A judge denied his bond today, and Douglas County Corrections placed him into lockdown away from other inmates after he got into fights with other inmates following his arrest.
All right, are you Fernandez Mason?
Loved ones in disbelief after prosecutors allege a 22-year-old shot and killed his biological mom and sister.
We still love him.
The man's other sister and foster mom worry about his mental health. Fernandez Mason played football at Benson High School and went to Wayne State College. They describe a large foster and biological family with multiple siblings.
There was 7 of us, and we just fighting for love.
The older he got, the worse it got. But he doesn't think he needed meds.
Prosecutors allege Mason obtained a permit and 9mm handgun Thursday morning, hours before a neighbor called Douglas County deputies to perform a wellness check at Lisa and Marquesha Cannon's apartment, finding them dead inside. Court documents say Lisa suffered from terminal stage 4 cancer, Marquesha moving in to help her. Prosecutors say Fernandez lived there at times.
He admitted to shooting and killing his mother and sister, saying that he killed his sister first because she could cause him problems if he shot his mother first.
When deputies interviewed Mason, court documents say he told them he received signs from unknown people in the community to kill his mother, leaving loved ones wondering how he was able to buy a gun, struggling with mental health.
He's not a bad person. He will never be a bad person in my eyes.